Boy, what are we doing today?
There we go. Ain't doing nothing.
Well, somebody, I won't say their name, but they ran this truck in a ditch. Messed up Alex's step, and he was so angry. Look at him underneath there. He was so angry. Bent it all up. Luckily, we got a spare Peterbilt sitting off to the side. We're parked. So Alex gets a doll box and a black air tank on his truck. And then the bumper, I didn't even show you that. He just did buff this thing all out. Had it all cleaned up, and Bullwinkle was the first one to drive it and ran it in a ditch. So now we got to put a new bumper on her and a new step. We're surprised the front end's still inside of her. This is just what's broke that we know of. Who did it, Bullwinkle? Oh! He's been doing the airlines. But you can't blame him because I ran the combine in the same ditch 2 years ago. But that's because I was distracted by Alex and Big Lou on the radios talking me to death. So technically it wasn't my fault. But we're getting her changed out. It's a team effort. It takes 3 people to do this job.
3?
Well, 1 supervisor and two workers. Alex is supervising, laying on his back while me and Bullwinkle were doing the bulking. So, but we're getting ready to get her. We got her loaded up with straw. I'll probably haul that tonight so we can get that up the road. I haul all the straw around here. Do all the planting, combine. So, of course, we need rain, and of course, if you look at the storm clouds, they're calling for a severe thunderstorm, but they're going right over top of us. The wind's blowing, and it's going to blow it right out to the ocean, and we won't get a nick of rain. We can hear the thunder. That's just wind that you're hearing. It's blowing it right over top of us, out in the ocean, and it'll rain over the ocean instead of rain here. We got just a little bit of spitting going on, but we need major rain. And it's just, if you see the clear sky and then there's the storm clouds, yeah, it's going over top of us. And then it'll go out in the ocean because we're on a straight shot. We're not that far from the ocean, Atlantic Ocean. And it'll rain over top of the ocean. It'll thunderstorm over top of the ocean, but not over top of the crops. So that's life. Well, we're getting a little rain now. Look at it coming off the roof. Thank you, Lord. Camera's better. This side for some reason. Oh, it's coming down good. These wheat beans are planted. They need rain. Corn is about, we've lost half the yield, but this rain will help what's left. So just keep it coming. That was quick. So they're calling for another shower at like 11 something, but if you look at the radar, it's coming right for us, a great big cloud, big storm. But then when it gets to us, it kind of breaks in half and goes around us. I think we might catch a little bit of it, but we need all of it. If we could get all of it, that would be great, but it's coming down. Whew. We needed this. I wish I had all the wheat beans planted now. I still got 250 acres to do, but of course, with the government stuff that's on the tractor broke down, it's not going to be fixed till Friday, but I did put a new G5 in my brother's tractor. He's got the same one I got. Same tractor, same computer now, so I might unhook the planter, pull my tractor out of the way. Even though the exhaust is off of it, it should fire up enough to get it moved. And we got to unhook his baler, and I might hook his tractor up if we get enough rain tonight. This ground is soaking in. It's so dry. I mean, it's terribly dry. And I might be able to start planting some beans tomorrow and try to get all of them in the ground. And of course, I might have some replant on some of these wheat beans. A lot of them came up, but there's spots where they didn't. And if you dig them up, they're just sitting there. You know, they didn't swell up and die or anything. They're just sitting there waiting for rain. So tomorrow morning, probably midday, probably around lunchtime, you know, if we get this rain tonight and then it's supposed to be like 95 degrees again tomorrow, we should see every bean pop up. And then if they don't pop up, then obviously I'll probably have to touch up a few spots. But this is much needed rain. But as you can see, it's raining, but it's starting to clear off in the distance. It's just a quick storm. I hope the ground sucks it up. The ground's hard, so I hope it doesn't run off. I hope that the ground really sucks this stuff in. So, thank you, Lord, for this. This is nice. Just like that, in 5 minutes, it's over with. Yep. It's over with that quick. I don't even think it was 5 minutes. I literally just stopped recording, sat down. See it starting to get bright over there. That's the second rain we've had in 2 months that's lasted 5 minutes and then it's nothing. So, I mean, it looks like it dropped a lot of water, but that's just because the ground is hard. It won't soak it in because we haven't had rain 2 months. But hey, not complaining. Any rain we can take, we will get. We just need more of these. Need more. Oh, we finally got some rain. I think we've got a 10th in the last 2 months. As you can see, the sky's starting to clear, but they're calling for it to come back tonight. More rain around 1, 2 o'clock, but you can see the puddles. You can see the green lights we got illuminating the house. So I could sit out here on the porch and listen to this all night. We thought it was going to go over us and go out into the ocean, and then all of a sudden it started raining. So thank the Lord. Thank you, Jesus. So I'm checking our corn across town again. We got 3 inches of rain, so I'm going to be Saturday putting ESN on all this. It looks really good. But it looks like it needs to be fed a little bit. Plus there's about 10 acres where I forgot to turn the pump back on the planter because I had to fix a pin in the planter arm and the pump times itself out. So when you get back in it, if you don't remember to click the button, it's not on. So I think I made, like I told you before, like 6 passes. Here's some more of our corn. I think I told you I made like 6 passes before I realized I had the pump off. It still looks good though. You can tell just the difference, a little bit of height difference, but it still looks good. So I've done made arrangements to get a trailer drop down here at Girdle Tree. I can drop it here and hit all of our farms. I got to travel a little bit, but I'm going to be putting some ESN and sulfur and stuff on there Saturday. I'm going to drop a trailer tomorrow. So I'm going to ride and look at the other farms. While I'm down here, but they say that this side of town didn't get as much rain, but corn actually looks better. Of course, we don't have any sand hills on this side of town. It's more good dirt. I think the farms are better farms. I mean, we got sand on this one farm I'm going to, but it's not the big sand mounds like we got out on the other side of town. So I wish we got 3 inches. Some people got 4, some people got 3.5. We got right around 3.2. I wish it had come a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, because our sand hills, man, that's where we're going to lose a lot of yield on our sand hills. If we could have just got a little bit of rain, a couple tenths here and there to hold them, it would have been way better. But we got rain. I'm not going to complain about it. We got what we needed, and we finally got a good rain. I think we've only had a 10th for the last month and a half, 2 months. So you can't do that. It'd be 95, 100 degrees out every day. Corn just can't. I'm surprised the corn's making it what it has. A lot of our corn on that side of town is tasseling. So it just started tasseling too. So with this rain, definitely help. I I got about 250 acres of wheat beans. I got to get in. Of course, this rain helps there, but now the tractor's broke down. But they said they'll have the stuff tomorrow, so we can get her going. If we can get her back together tomorrow, Friday, I'm going to plant all of it. I'm just going to keep right on rolling. And then come spread over here. There's more of it. Come spread over here Saturday on these farms right here. There's Mr. Bill. Hey, Mr. Bill. But here's this corn. I mean, it looks good. It's, you know, it's a little weak here and there, but that's lack of rain. But once I spread the ESN and sulfur on it, it'll look really good. Considering I just put planter stuff on here, and these guys next to us, I think the property line's right here, and these guys next to us use right here, that looks worse than ours, but they use anhydrous, and honestly it doesn't even look as good as our corn does. And I think that was actually planted earlier, but it's same ground. I like seeing those comparisons between anhydrous and you know, regular nitrogen, ESN, liquid nitrogen, boron, sulfur, all that stuff that I think you need. So it looks pretty good. I think I spread it and get some stuff on there, it'll really make a big difference. They're calling for about the same amount on Sunday, so we're finally starting to get some rains, so that's why I kind of want to get it on. Saturday, that way the rain will kind of, you know, wash that. Every time you spread it, it rains on ESN. Every time it rains on ESN, it kind of swells up and releases some nitrogen out of it. So that'll work out perfect. And it'd be nice while I'm down this way if anybody wanted me to spread. I'm down here to spread, so I'll hit some other people's corn while I'm down here. I'm gonna go check our other farm. I just checked them the other day, but just checking them again, just because. See, all right, I'm just riding, checking the corn here at the home farm. That rain has really helped it, but just so uneven from not having rain. But the rain helped. You hear the water. We got quite a bit of rain, so we were just in a major drought for a really long time. Really stunted this corn. Now the field in the very back is the last field I planted. After I came across town, we had waited. We weren't sure if we were going to put beans in this field or corn. But I had some corn seed left, enough to do it, so I went ahead and planted it. And it seems like the later corn actually looks better than the early corn. The early corn was so far ahead, and then when it needed water, it just couldn't get it because of the drought. And the late planted corn this year actually did better, it seemed like. I like getting corn in early, but it seemed like the later planted corn this year did better. Because across town looks excellent. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this corn either, but that's the last field I planted. It's already taller than the late season, or the early season corn. Now, of course, it is a different variety, and you can see how much rain we got. You can see the water just sitting there in the field. So we finally got water. They're calling for more Sunday, so I'm gonna spread across town. This is a little bit, this is earlier than that, but this part of the runway got planted later, so it still looks good. This is 1087, 108 day seed consultant. Now the 105 day that I planted up here, I'll show you. Runway airplane Well, we haven't had to cut it because we haven't had any rain. But now with the rain, we got to cut it. So get the mower hooked up, get it cut. I'll show you the stuff that's passing up here. I'm glad we got rain. It just did start passing. This 5-day get up here. 108-day on both sides. See, she's tasseling, but we've lost bushels off of it. Ground's so hard it just hasn't been able to soak in yet. But I mean, the corn don't look bad. But we do got sand hills up here that where a yield loss is just going to be tremendous. That's 105 days. 104 day right here. So it doesn't look bad still. It's just the sand hills is what's going to kill us now. I was counting on the sand hills to really produce, but I'll show you there. This field right here is a major sand hill, and you'll see that you'll see coming back. It's just, as you can see the brown in there, it's sand. You can see the brown is just sand, and it comes back. The corn's short. It's just not going to get its height this year, so now it's just going to start to go on here. I'm fine with that, but still, it just didn't grow to its. See, here's where you see the sand right here. That's just dead sand. That corn right there is done. You can see it all through there. It comes back nice, and then of course on the 108-day side, there's a sandy spot right there on the edge. If we had a pivot on here, this is where we were planning on putting the pivot at. The pivot will up. I wouldn't be making this video. But it's starting to tassel. We get the rain here. Sunday. So you see this right here is just done. It's part of the in-rail right through there. Just sandy. It's not bringing that back. And then this field over here, this is all 108 days. It's a big farm. It looks really good. Rain really helped it. But she's got a sand hill right there. You can see the brown right up top. That's just going to be yield loss. Even if everything else does good right here, even if everything does good, then the rest of it's just helping it out. But sand hill is where we're losing a bunch. Now I planted a bunch of wheat beans. I got a lot of them starting to come up, but I'm not sure about some of them. I need to get out here and look. You see, there's the beans. I just dug some up, and the rain has got them fluffed up a little bit, so they're starting to swell up, and they'll start to grow now. Cover them back up. I dug some up the other day. They were just kind of sitting in dirt. I guess with no moisture, they were just waiting for some moisture, but they'll start popping up and seeding themselves now. So I think this is a plant. Well, maybe. I think I'm on one. There he is right there. I put them a little bit deeper to get them in some moisture. So yeah, they're starting they'll be turned into, next day they'll be right up. We have some up, some that aren't up. But the straw, wheat straw, we cut it higher this year because it was 100 degrees out, make it a little bit easier on the combine. And you can look down the rows and barely see the green tint, but wheat beans, you can't really stress a lot over wheat beans because they come up as they want. You know, they're periodically. You got some come up, some doesn't come up. It seems like I worry about it every year after wheat beans, and then you just got to stop worrying about it. And next thing you know, you look out and they're all up and covered, and so it's just part of it. They'll all be up soon. I might have to spot replant. I don't know. Let me put my seatbelt on. I might have to spot replant a little bit here and there, but I doubt it. Once they all get popping up, it's just how it is. They'll all end up getting out of the ground and making it. They were just waiting for water, so pretty much. I still got 250 acres to do, so I'm supposed to be picking up. The guy said he'd have everything tomorrow and get it done. I'm supposed to be picking up the filters tomorrow. Hopefully we can get that in. I called John Deere because the only thing sticking out is the exhaust and the tractor where it connects to the muffler. And all the sensors are sticking out, so I asked him if I could unhook the tractor. I was going to hook my brother's tractor up to it. And they're like, well, I wouldn't start it because it might mess something up. So if the guy doesn't get the filters done tomorrow, we may hook a chain up to her, and you can just throw her in neutral with the power shift. Might drag her out the way, unhook the planter, hook my brother's tractor up. He's got the same tractor I got, same computer, and get these beans in the ground while there's some moisture here. Or that's my thought process anyway. We'll see. A bunch of the land I haven't planted yet. I'll show you this 1094Q 109 day corn. Now this held up the longest in the stress of the no rain. And it still looks good. It's starting to tassel. It didn't get the height out of it because of the lack of rain, but it still held up the best out of any brand and any corn that we had. This right here held up the best out of all of them. So I'm hoping that with this rain, it really kicks in and does good, or does, I guess, average now. I mean, you can't really say anything. There's the broke down deer right there because of the government. But the corn looks good. I still got to plant all this. Just waiting for the first I was waiting for rain. Now that I got rain, now I'm waiting for the damn emission crap for the tractor to come in to fix it. I swear, you can't never get ahead, get anything done. Of course, I don't know if I would plant right this second because we had such a major rain so quick. The ground is still tacky. I'm sure it would mess up the gauge wheels and all that crap. So I'd probably plant tomorrow though, if I didn't have to worry about fixing the tractor. And I'm not sure, I mean, the tractor's not hard to fix. I took pictures on remembering how to put everything back on the exhaust. And then it's just an exhaust. It's what's preventing a $500,000 piece of equipment from moving. It's just an exhaust pipe. Because of the dumb government filters, it's an exhaust pipe that's preventing the whole tractor from working because of government emissions. It just irritates me so bad. Ugh. Anyway, see. I tell you though, I don't know how the corn, even my dad, we were talking about it this morning. 2 months of no rain, we still ain't figured out how the corn lived and looks as good as it does now. Now the sand hills, and I don't think people understand what I mean when I say sand hills, how bad our sand hills but it's just dead sand, like beach sand. But for 2 months of no rain, it's impressive how Sea Consultant has held up. I mean, that corn shouldn't look like that with no rain in 2 months. I don't know if it's because we ripped all of our ground this winter and the roots went down and we're able to find water to keep it going or what. It's something, you know, something made something work. I don't know. But for no rain, I'm glad we got that rain last night. We need more. But it's impressive. I don't know if it's the brand or if it's because we ripped. I don't know. But it's actually two months of no rain. We got a 10th in 2 months. So it's held up pretty good. So hats off to Sea Consultant. I see other brands around here that I know guys planted that don't look nowhere near as good as that. So I don't know. It could be where we ripped or it could be the brand, but it's definitely something that's kept this corn looking like it does. So I don't know. Putting a new battery box on today. And he got a new bumper for his front truck that he hadn't put on yet. I'm checking on some of these soybeans and wheat. They're coming up. Some spots are coming up, some spots are not. Some spots are close to coming up. That's the bad thing about wheat beans. I mean, they're coming up pretty good. But then there's some spots where nothing's coming up. But we just got that rain, so they're kind of coming now. They're spotty. They're just spotty. Very irritating. That's why I hate worrying about wheat beans. Going out and checking on them and seeing what's coming, what isn't coming. Cause you look, they'll be spotty, and the next thing you know, they'll all be up. So it's just a matter of I'm just trying to actually see if I need to replant anything anywhere. Like I think some of these sand hills where it was so dry, I put them a little bit deeper just to get them down in moisture, but it doesn't seem like it really mattered. So they're calling for another rain Sunday. We got a bunch of rain the other day, so I'm just out here checking, see if I need to replant or how many acres I gotta replant. It's all just a hit or miss game in wheat. I hate wheat beans. It seems like it takes them forever to pop through, and then they don't pop through, and then you worry, and then they do pop through. I don't know. Then you set your planter, try to get through all this stubble, and some spots are too deep, and then you get in some a little bit tighter ground, and you're not deep enough. So it kind of hit or miss game. These damn things. That's what I'm doing. Checking to see what they're doing. If you look, the beans are coming up pretty. Good stand. It's just you can't see them from the road. The straw's so tall that from the road you think they're not up. But if you look down the road, you can see the green coming all the way down. So sometimes you just can't stress out over wheat beans. It was dry, so when I put them in a little bit deeper, there was moisture a little bit deeper, so I wanted them to get that. But you'll ride along, you'll see beans everywhere, and then you won't see any, and you pull the straw back, and there the bean is. So and then the ones that haven't come up yet, you dig them them up, and they're right there underneath the dirt, getting ready to fall through. So it's a good thing we got that rain. But if you look, I mean, you can see them. You see the green all the way up. So that's what I'm checking for. You just can't see them from the road, so you think they're not up, but they're definitely up. So that's a relief. Now, I'm not saying we might not have to touch up some spots, some of the sandier ground. It was too dry, obviously, but they're coming up everywhere pretty good. So as soon as they get the tractor fixed, I'm gonna finish planting. But they haven't called yet. Anybody watch the debate last night? Biden, how world? And he's the leader of the free world. Keep voting for dummies like that. Even Trump said one time, he was like, I don't even understand what he said. Oh my God, like he cracked up. So, alright, good morning. It is Saturday. Supposed to be getting some rain tomorrow. So I'm over here at our south farm. We're ready to put some ESN on the rest of the corn and get the corn done. We weren't going to do it, but we got quite a bit of rain. Now they're kind of calling for rain more often, and it's surprising that the corn has actually turned around and looks, after that 3.4 inch rain, it's starting to look really good now. So putting some ESN, some sulfur and stuff on, so we're gonna get it done, son. Right, here's all the corn. There's all the way around there. On this farm, all the way around, all the way back. We got 2 more farms to do after this, so hopefully I got enough on this trailer to do it all. It's supposed to be, so should be able to cover everything pretty good. Bag up a little bit. If anybody else wants anything done, I am down Myrtle Tree way. I'll swing over and knock it out while I'm right here. I always just look out the back window, even though I got cameras. It's that visual thing I like to look at. So I'm gonna start getting this stuff right here done, get it knocked out today. I got 21 acres to do down the street for somebody. I don't know if they want to do it Monday or not, but it's supposed to rain, so I'm gonna call them and tell them, you know, while I'm right here, if they want me to go do it instead of waiting until Monday, I'll go ahead down. I'll stop what I'm doing. I'll run my bin out on my stuff, and then I'll run down and hit them if they want. That way the rain can kind of wash it in Sunday. That would be perfect. So always trying to look out for the customer. Get it done as quick as I can for them. So, all right, see you. A lot of deer damage down this end of the field, right here. You can see it all right there. Right there especially. You can see all the leaves ripped down, pulled down. Look at it all. Deer, deer, deer. And this is my brother's farm. Clearly he is not killing enough deer at all. No idea this corn was this tall when I rode by the other day. It is, that rain that we got really made this stuff jump. I mean, big time. Way. It's quite a bit taller than the decob is. Looks a lot more even, and it's the same ground other than you know, just the road that separates both sides of the farm. So I'm really impressed with this stuff. Looks excellent. I mean, you know, you never know till you get into the yield with the combine to see what both sides do, but man, this is really pretty corn. It's 115 days seed consultant. I think it's 11:15 a.m. but it is very impressive. I mean, it looks really good. And that's all on this side of town, so we'll see what the rest of the farms look like. But man, it is very good looking corn. Can't complain about corn like this. Just need to keep getting rain, or calling for rain tomorrow too, quite a bit. So that's why I'm trying to get this stuff knocked out today. So I just thought I'd show you. All right, let's walk out in the second farm of the 115 day. This was planted a day or two later, and it looks good. It's not as tall, but it was planted a little bit later on. So there's a spreader that gives you an idea. It's up to the top of the rim, not over the tires like the last farm was, but that's 2-day planting difference. So I guess that's what it looks like right there. And you can see the ESN on the ground. Pretty good coverage. Got the corn deep enough so the roots, you got a couple of them that are sticking out, but I like them to try to be under the ground. The brace roots gives it a little bit more support. So I plant a little bit deeper. Sometimes you'll see people, they'll be way up here coming out. I like my corn at least 2.5 inches deep. Got a little bit of burn on it still from the atrazine when I sprayed it, but that'll go away. But overall, the leaves look healthy. That's still some of the burn right there that's going away. You can see some on the tips. So I don't like atrazine, but look how healthy and big these leaves are. This is the 115 day too. Seed consultant, look at that. Just healthy looking plants. Big fat leaves. Looks good. Looks really good. So I got the bigger field over there to do. Then I'll be moving to another farm. I've gotten all this all the way over done. Good afternoon. I am finally back to planting soybeans. I hooked my brother's tractor up to it, and I'm glad that he's got the same thing I got. I'm glad I put the new G5 in there, because that way I can plant with it. Of course, I had to take the full box out, put in here the little air thingy, and I had to take the power cord that runs to the battery off of my tractor and put on here that runs the air compressor on the planter. But Deere's going to get me another one of them. We're going to leave this on here. That way, if this ever happens again, I don't have to take all this stuff off. I wish I could find another 1790 fold box. I'd just leave this one in here. Put it in mine, because the 1790 fold box runs the corn planter also, 1770. I just use it for everything, but you need the 1790 for the split rows. So I am exhausted. We got 3.5 inches of rain, and it rained on the planter. It was full. I couldn't start my tractor up because the exhaust was off of it. They said not to. Normally if something like that happens and I got the planter full, I'll come over and run the planter a couple little swipes, get the air and the seed moving, and that cleans it up, but at the bottom of these tanks here, on these planters, they got like little sponges where all the hoses go into. Well, when that gets wet, and you don't do that, run it for 5 or 10 minutes, the seed gets wet, and of course I had to drop every one of them doors. And if anybody's ever been on a CCS deer, when you open them doors up, you can't get them shut. Seed will run out. But if you take a big sledgehammer, beat them up, and then hurry up and hook the latch, you can't get them shut. That's how I do it. But I had to take a screwdriver and clean it out, and clean every hose out, and shove the screwdriver in the hoses to get them all cleaned out. I dumped quite a bit of bean seed on the ground in the process, but it's what you got to do. And we finally got it running. I had a problem trying to set the radar on the computer. I finally figured out how to do that because mine's already preset. I've been playing with her with this for years, but this first time we've ever played it with this tractor, even though they're twins, they're both 8335Rs. Never playing it with it, so it took me a second to figure it out. I couldn't get the planter to work. Once I figured it out, because it runs off the planter speed, not off the tractor speed. Once I turned the radar off, bam, everything worked great. Once I cleaned the seed bins out, everything worked great. Everything's doing pretty good right now. So yeah, we're just trying to get going. 250 acres ago. I do have a little bit of replant on some of the earlier wheat beans. We put a lot in, a lot came up. Some of the inrows didn't. I don't know if it was from compaction, running over them with the loader, wagon, I don't know. But I gotta go around and spot plant some of them. But we're gonna get the main beans done first and then go around. I wanted to switch the tractors out. We had a heck of a time switching the tractor out because they didn't want to start it, but we hooked this one up with a chain. We were just going to put her in neutral and pull her out, but unless you start her, the computer won't shift her to neutral. She has this one's got an IVT and that one's got a whatever you call it. So power shift, that's what it is. So we just said screw it, started it up, moved it 10 feet, shut it off, got it out of the way. Broke one chain trying to pull it. We were like, no, we're just gonna start it up, move it. Oh well. They got the filters in, they pressed the old ones out, pressed the new ones in and messed one of them up. So they are going to they were supposed to be done Friday, my tractor, but now they said Monday, so that's why we said heck with it, hook this one up just in case something happens again. I can at least be done planting beans. They're calling for rain tomorrow, so I'm gonna run all the beans. I got the tender, the front pocket's full, the planter was full, so I'm gonna run all these beans off that we have, and then they're gonna bring us more beans Monday, but at least I'll get whatever I can get planted. So it's been one hell of a day. I spread 250 acres this morning, got all of our corn done across town, but I left the spreader over there because they got some work for me to do for other people, so that way it's over there. I'll just drive over and get it Monday. So this is what's going on. Everything's working good now. Now that I went through about an hour of misery, 2 hours of misery, because I had to switch everything from the tractor. So, but we're gonna change that. We're gonna make this a setup also. So next time we have to do it, it doesn't take so long. So, the I am running section control. So trying to save as many beans as possible. Even though both of these tractors are pretty much the same thing, I tell you, there's nothing like being in your tractor. My brother didn't wash this thing. I had to wash it. It had straw and grew oil all over the back of it. So I washed it. The inside is filthy. It's got floors just dirty as heck. The tray I put in here, look at that. Look how dirty that is. Man, my tractor is my girl. I take care of her. I'll clean her, wash her. And he don't work weekends, do you, Alex? He's too worried about that booty from his woman. This Eastern Shore farmer knows if we got something to do on the farm, farming comes before the woman does. Just like if she's got something to do in her nursing or whatever she wants to do, she goes and does it. We got to get beans planted. I had to switch all this around by myself. It sucked, but he's in love, so I guess that's how it goes. But he could have cleaned this tractor there. This thing is nasty. I've been in my tractor for 3 months, steady, and it's not this nasty. But anyway, she's getting used today, so it is nice having the same setup. I try to set every tractor up the same way. That way, when you get in and out of one, they're kind of the same. So that makes it convenient. I think, you know, everything's in the same spot. So I don't know. Anyway, everybody have a good rest of the weekend. It's Saturday at 4:37. I'm going to be doing this until I can't. Until I run out of beans or something. So, I don't know. See you later. Got all that to plant, and then on the other side of that corn, there's a crap load more to plant. I'm not going to have enough beans to do it all, but it is what it is today. At least I'm getting going.